Hey, what's up all you action figure lovers out there? Master Marvel's back at it once again, bringing you another action figure review. And tonight I'm doing something pretty big. A little unorthodox, but still pretty big nonetheless. I've been hinting around to it for a while now. I'm almost about a month late on doing this, because I'm just trying to find the time. This is going to be the official video of my top 20 of 2020 so far, halfway through the year. And this is definitely going to be based off of the figures that I have personally in my collection so far. The properties that I'm collecting. I am excluding some of the properties because that I'm just not that crazy about. I may have one Transformer in there, but I didn't really do any Star Wars Black Series. Not really doing any of the Lightning collection and stuff like that. I mean, some of those can be honorable mentions, I'm sure. But as far as something that really stands out, so this is basically what it is. It's my version, my personal top 20 of 2020 so far. I'm going to be doing 30 different figures on here because I got 10 honorable mentions to do. So yeah, it took me a little bit to go through and you know, just to remember everything. But the reason why, I mean, some of the NECA, like, I mean, I'm definitely on top of the Ninja Turtle stuff, and I mean, I know, but I just kind of started collecting NECA not that long ago, probably earlier this year, and I know a lot of the stuff that we've been getting at Walmart and stuff like that has been re-released stuff, so it was just kind of hard for me to kind of go through and just with a fine-tooth comb and find out exactly what was released this year without doing a massive amount of research. So there's just a lot of stuff like that that I just kind of like left out. So we're mainly working with Marvel Legends, some McFarlane stuff, some NECA stuff. So just kind of bear with me, and not everybody's going to agree with my top 20 or whatever, and that's fine because we all have our own personal preferences. But I'm just going to go ahead and begin now. I'm going to start with my number 10 for the honorable mentions, and it is, apparently I bumped these and knocked them all down. I had them all setting up nice and shit. So it's unfortunate, because it really is. But I'm going to have to put my number 10 spot for, you know, the 10 honorable mentions. At number 10, we have our Stan Lee, from Marvel Legends Stan Lee. And really also in this I was excluding MCU figures. With our Stan Lee I kind of made an exception because he could just kind of go both ways, you know what I mean? Yeah, and until they come out with a comic book version of Stan Lee, this is the Stan Lee we have for our Marvel Legends. So you could put him with your MCU, you could put him with your comic, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, and yes, this was a highly sought after figure. It's a good figure in its own right. But it's just not really a standout figure. I mean, the name sold it, not necessarily the functionality of the figure. It's a lot of reuse parts and stuff, so that's why he's at the very bottom of my honorable mentions list even. So I mean, some of you may have him right up in there in your top 10. I don't know. But this is where he's at. So, that's number 10. I'm going to go ahead and stick him over here to the side. One of the things that bothers me the most about this is how hard it is for this motherfucker to stand. I tell you, she's got really fucked up legs, man. Or feet. So, alright. The next honorable mention, is something that I think was overlooked by a lot of people just because they didn't really have any attachment to it. It's nothing really to base it off of. But it's going to go to the Gamerverse wave, the Abomination Build-A-Figure wave. We have this Captain America from the video game. This is actually a very well executed figure. I mean, it's not a look we're really familiar with Captain America. But the amount of detail in this, with his, you know, he's got like that SWAT type gear on. This is a really good action figure, and it's a very good, you know, interpretation of Captain America. So yeah, you know, it made like a lot of people overlooked it. A lot of people could have cared less about it, but I noticed it. You know, like it stood out to me. Like, this is a cool figure right here. So yes, he is definitely going to go at number 9 for my honorable mentions. There's old Cap. All right, so the next one here, number 8, is going to be, like, okay, the whole Age of Apocalypse wave, like, I absolutely loved it because it's always been my favorite storyline for X-Men and everything like that. But I have always wanted, and this is maybe just one of my personal favorites because I've always wanted a figure of this character. But we have X-Men's X-Man here. Nathan Summers. So, yeah, he's really cool. I mean, like I said, okay, I mean, it's a basic action figure, but I mean, this is him. It just popped right out of the comics, in my opinion. Like, for what they had to work with, they did a good job. So he is definitely going up there in my honorable mentions because I've waited a long time for this figure. So again, not everyone's going to agree with me, and that's fine, but he's on my list. So I'm gonna have to put his hand down here. So there's X-Man. Alright, so at number 7, I'm gonna put this Black Widow in the gray, this Walmart exclusive. This was just a well done action figure, and probably one of the year's most sought after figures, it seemed like. She was like last year's 80-year Captain America. Everyone was after it, and it was really hard to get, and I ended up getting the honey hole on these, and I sold a lot of these. So yes, she is going at number, what am I at, 7 here? I'm gonna have to drop that arm too. She was number 7. Alright, number 6. Now this one people may argue with because I think some people were getting this towards the end of the year, but I really do still believe that this was a early 2020 release for this wave. And I want to say it was the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure wave. But we have Hulk. She-Hulk. A very well done up figure. I mean, it's, just look at it, for God's sakes. I mean, this is a good figure right here. And if I would have tried to do this early on, she may have even made my top 20 list because she's just so well done. Nothing really reused here that I could see. I mean, maybe the arms, I don't know. But this is just a really good figure, and I really hope to see them work with this sculpt more and maybe give us a red hole. You know, just do what they can with this. So yeah, that's number 6 right there, goes to She-Hulk. Alright. And at number 5, I'm giving it to the Siege Rise, wasn't it? Is it the Siege War for Cybertron, and there was the Earthrise War for Cybertron. That's what this is. It's the Earthrise Optimus Prime, which I think they did a pretty knockout job with this, man. This is pretty nice looking fig. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the one that also has the removable, yeah, it's got the removable Allspark or whatever in it. The chest there. Nice little feature there. So yeah, I really like this Optimus Prime. And there might have been a couple more Transformers that may have made it into this, but nah, you know, I just definitely wanted to get one of them out there because this is a really good Optimus Prime. So he's number 5. All right. Number 4. I'm going to have to give it to the Winter Soldier. Very good upgrade on their Winter Soldier. This is just, I mean, granted, again, we're getting some reused stuff here, but it all went together so well. This is a very good action figure right here. So, super stoked to have this as well. So yeah, that was number 4. Right? I don't know. Where are we at now? Hold on, let me recount. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Yes, and now number 3. I'm going to give it to McFarlane's Unchained Superman. Another badass figure right here. Because McFarlane Toys is really slaughtering the shit out of some figures right now. And I just cannot wait to get what's been shown. I can't wait to get everything that he's going to come out with. Because that's where I'm at right now. I'm definitely on board with McFarlane Toys. And I'm definitely on board with their DC Multiverse. A little bit crazy on the whole Batman thing, but I think eventually we'll get through that. So yeah, at number 2, honorable mentions, we have the Hellbat. Another seriously badass figure right here. Loving this Hellbat. Okay. And at number 1, for my honorable mentions, I gotta give it up. And you know, in this, to me, like I could claim this whole wave right now as being an honorable mention because they're just so great and I love them and I can't wait to get more. But number 1 here we have G.I. Joe's Destro. Very good figure, very good. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is my top 10 honorable mentions so far of 2020. Now I just have to get these guys out of the way so I can get to the real bread and butter of this whole operation. Because it took me a while to be able to come up with this list and go through everything. And, you know, I'm talking about these DC Multiverses. What's so wild about it is that these just came out this year. They just started this line this year. And just how much stuff they've actually already done and accomplished and gotten down to retail in the first year's time is really impressive. So, I mean, that's really impressive. You got to take that into factor, too, that, I mean, they're really working hard and busting ass and just bringing us some super badass shit quickly. So, alright, let me get to this here because this is going to be a struggle trying to get 20 figures up on this table. I might not even do it that way. So, I guess we'll start out at number 20 for the top 20 of 2020 here. At number 20, I've got to give it to NECA, the Green Lantern from NECA. Now, if I had the Batman 2-pack, or you know, with the Jokerized alien, if I had that, or if I had the Superman, you know, once, then would probably be there too. But this was the only 2-pack that I was able to get at the time, so far. So, but it's a great figure. Like, I mean, they just really nailed it. They did a great job. So I definitely can't wait to see more of NECA's DC figures. And yeah, I'm going to try to get them all. So yeah, that is number 20 right there. Hal Jordan. I don't expect to get them all on here. I'm going to try. No, I'm not going to be able to do it anyway. We're just going to have to remember, okay? So I'm not going to have a table full of stuff here because some of the figures that I have here aren't even out of the package yet. I do own them, but I haven't gotten a chance to get around to them and review them yet. So some of them are still in the package. So we just got to live with that and just go with it. So, boom. Number 20. Alright. Now, number 19. I am giving number 19 to the McFarlane Batman Who Laughs. And as much as I wanted this figure to be higher on my list, motherfucker, it just, I mean, there's so many things that really kind of outdid it. And like, this is another one of those that early on, this definitely would have been much higher on my list, because it is a fantastic figure. He's a little short in my opinion compared, because the scaling was a little bit awkward at the beginning of the McFarlane line, the multiverse line. But there's no denying that this is an incredible figure right here. So he is at number 19. All right, let's get him out of the way. All right, so number 18 is one of those that I haven't gotten around to review yet. I just recently got it, but it's probably going to have to go to the Predator, the Alpha Predator by NECA. This thing just looks sick. I can't wait to get down to review this thing. It is super awesome. Yes, indeed. But I ain't got it out the package yet, but you can just look at how awesome this thing is, and I know a lot of people were dying to get this, so glad I was able to apprehend myself a set of that, or one. So what do we got? Number 17. We're at number 17 here. Another one of those that I haven't got a chance to review yet, but I'm giving it to the Spider-Man Retro Wave Daredevil, Armored Daredevil here. It's all new sculpt. This is actually a really good looking Daredevil here. I don't have this whole wave yet, unfortunately. I don't have the Spider-Man and the Gwen Stacy yet. And I'm pretty damn sure that if I had that Spider-Man, he would be right up in there in the top 5, probably easily. So, unfortunately, I don't have that one yet. I'm still looking. So, anyways, this, what is it, 17 spot? Yeah, 17. We're giving that to the Daredevil. Okay. Alright. Number 16. Number 16 I have to give it to this because this is a really impressive figure right here for a Build-A-Figure. But we have the Titanium Man here. Or, sorry, Crimson Dino here. Dynamo. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, this is a pretty awesome Build-A-Figure. He's massive. Some reused parts, I think, from Ironmonger, feet, some other stuff. Excuse me. But this is still pretty solid, and it's nice. And originally I was thinking about putting him in my honorable mentions, but I mean, this is really well done. So yeah, what was it, 16? I gotta keep fucking looking. It's ridiculous. 16, yeah. So at 16 we have Crimson Dynamo. Alright, so at number 15, I have a figure again that I haven't had a chance to review yet because I just got it, but man, it's Marvel Legends Maverick. This is an awesome looking figure, and from looking at it, from what I'm seeing, the only reuse we're really getting at all is these damn guns maybe, but otherwise, this thing just looks like an all new sculpt altogether. I'm not seeing really anything reused on it. This is fantastic, and this is another one of those waves that I just don't have all of them yet too. I don't have the Pirate Deadpool, and I don't have Sunspot, because if I did, the Build-A-Figure would definitely be on my top 20 list. So like I said, this is just figures that I have in my possession now, not everything that's been made, because it's really, if I don't have it, as great as it could be, I can't really rate it and I can't really claim it, so it's just not going to go on my list. So keep that in mind. But yeah, here is Maverick. Alright. So I think I'm on number 14 now. I think I am. I'm trying to keep up with myself. But yeah, this one was definitely one that I had to get in there because it's actually pretty sick, man. It could have been better, but man, this has to be one of the best Superman action figures that we have. You know, if you don't have the NECA one or whatever. This is McFarlane's DC Multiverse Superman. and it is a really good Superman. Yeah, I mean, this guy is awesome. He looks good from a lot of different angles, and yeah, I like it. It's my favorite Superman in my collection, and I have several Supermans. So this is definitely my favorite. He had to be in my top 20. Alright. So, next, look, I'm not even counting now. I'm just tired of trying to keep up with my numbers here. But next, I'm going to give it to another McFarlane figure. We're getting the Marauder from Doom here. This is a really sick figure right here. Great detail on it. Actually moves really well. And even though I've never played Doom or anything like that, I've got no real personal attachment to the game or the character. You can't deny that this thing is just sick as hell. I mean, that thing's awesome. So, yeah, it was lacking in accessories, but it's still a great figure. Alright, so we're moving on. Next up, I have NECA's Annabelle. Because this thing is just creepy in all the right ways. I love the display options. I love having the chair. I love having the case. I mean, this whole thing is just really awesome. So NECA just handles their business over there, man. They do some outstanding work. And this is definitely one of those super awesome figures. So she was number 12.